I played freshman football, and I wasn't long for football. I went out for the varsity sophomore year, played, didn't particularly distinguish myself, and it was pretty much the end of my, varsity career there. And my fear, candidly, was Ossendorp's going to see what a lousy lacrosse player I am, and he's going to form an opinion of me that this kid, is unskilled and probably untutorable, and all he can do is run. He was pretty rigorous, and I was kind of ready to exit college sports. So it was interesting to get to know him. He was certainly somebody who was memorable and estimable. He was, and you got a sense of why he was a successful coach. You really did. He basically molded that team, and we got people to do stuff for him, and you could see how we got it done. Same thing when I played on the varsity. My best memory actually is of being in the varsity football, and I was holding a dummy, and I forget, it was either John Ratajczyk or somebody ran right through me, and Ossendorp said, "Get somebody else in there." Oddly enough, I don't have much. I remember a trip down south to Georgia. I remember playing, thinking it wonderful that we were playing Division I schools, on that southern trip, and holding our own by and large. But, other than that, I just remember the skills of the people who were particularly good. Paul Bunn, it was hard not to remember Paul or John Ratajczyk. Other than that, I don't remember any scores. I don't remember anything other than, winning an occasional face-off and being happy about that. The camaraderie was great. I remember being friends with Jim Taylor and getting to be friendly with him, and appreciating everybody and thinking, it's good to be on a team. I spent a lot of time in Cal Plimpton's office, and I spent,
It wasn't for bad behavior either.
No, it was trying to, I was trying to advocate things like parietal hours and stuff that was really important. Number of years as a graduate student in English literature, have a half a dissertation kicking around, and decided I was facing a series of one-year appointments in God-forsaken places, and so gave that up. Longer story short, shortly thereafter my father became ill with cancer. I'm an only child. We moved up to Connecticut. He was given 6 months to live. We thought we'd go pack up his stuff. He had a liquor store. I ran it for a little while, thought we'd be with him while he was dying, and then I'd go back to Columbia Law School, which I'd just gotten into. Longer story short, he ended up living for 22 years, most of them with us. Great story. He had a family that he hadn't had. Both our daughters were born here. My wife was 6 months pregnant when we found this out. She was a high school teacher in New York, and so we ended up coming up here. I ended up going to law school up here, and I've practiced 35 years at the same firm, oddly enough, representing a lot of college and universities in tenure cases. I was a trial lawyer, have probably 30 jury trials to my credit, probably an equal number of appeals, not from the ones I lost, but mostly from the ones I won. It was a terrific run, but it ended. I wanted it to end. I'll be 70 next month. And it was time. Got 3 grandchildren I want to spend time with. Got a wife I want to spend more time with. There's a golf course behind me that I want to spend more time on. There's, I think I mentioned I'm a competitive bridge player. Want to do that. There are friends you want to keep up with and see and do more with. At this point, candidly puzzling out what will particularly give me meaning in life. There's a line in somebody's memoir or something about living well being the best revenge. There's something to that, but it's not all of it. And you still have, Amherst in the background running around in your head about what's a life of consequence really mean at this point. For my wife, who I love dearly, it's an easy solution. She's a Voltairean. Which is cultivate your own garden. She's somebody who's devoted to her family. That's her primary focus in life, and ensuring that they, she can make their life as good as it possibly can be, and in whatever way she can support them. I do some of that, but it's not as fulfilling for me. So, I suspect, like a number of people who have just entered retirement, you're trying to figure things out still in lots of ways, which is, no different than, 50 years ago when we came to Amherst. Anyway, so that's the, brief history.